We had written a program earlier to look at how functions can be defined inside or outside the class definition. Now, in that we had accepted one item name, the cost of it, the quantity, and the value we had displayed. Now, while going through that, if you look at the function names, right? Get data, what does it do? It stores the input values, that is the values that has been entered by the user, into the data members. So actually, instead of saying get data, ideally it should be set data, right? So let's rename this to set data. Okay, and this put data, what is it doing? It is basically displaying it. So it's better to name it as display data. Okay, so now let's make this also set data. Now wherever we are calling it from, see here, get data and put data. So instead of get data, set data, and instead of put data, display data. You know what this does is it basically makes it easier to understand the program while reading it. Generally, when in a class, a function's responsibility is to get take the argument that has been passed to it and store it in the data members. We say set. We use the word set. Not necessary, but a good practice. Similarly, here it is displaying the data, so we say display data rather than put data. Display data is much more meaningful. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing is, normally when you go to a shop, you don't buy one single item. You end up one or more, generally more. So what we need to do is put this in a, we need to have a, what shall I say, an array of items, right? So let's do that. Now here what I'll do is I will say item ITM of let's say 5, right? For simplicity's sake. Later on we will see how we can make this for any number of items. Because remember, if I give a larger number here, what happens is I will end up entering that many number of details every time I run this program. So I don't want to get stuck with that. Okay, so now I have done this. Now what should happen? This entire thing has to go into a loop, right? So what I'll do is, I don't need to do this. Okay, item 5, and here onwards I have to put it in a loop. So for int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, right? And this whole thing has to go into a block, code block. Till where? Till we actually till setting the data, that is updating the data members of that particular item object, right? So this whole thing should be in a code block, and let's push it forward. Okay, all right. Okay, now we have done this. Now I'm sure you remember that sometimes when, especially in case of a string, when we type something and then press a spacebar and then type something else, that enter key is taken for the future entries also, right? So it doesn't allow me to enter price and quantity kind of thing. So what we need to do is, after every item has been entered, we need to say scene ignore what? Ignore the and item name is 20, so 20 and \n. What is \n? New line character. So enter key it has to ignore. Okay. Now we can put the display also there, right? We can put this here after setting the data. ITM display data. So in which case I can delete this, and shall we see how it looks like when we run it? So let's run this. Error structure required on left side of dot. Structure required the left side, 47 and 48 in these two. ITM. What is the item? ITM. ITM of 5. So ITM, okay, remember it's an array now. So what we need to do is put an I here. Which particular object in the array? Okay, now let's run this. Great. First, I'll just keep it simple, right? Second, 4 4. Third, 5 5. Fourth, 6 6. Fifth, 7 7. Okay, so 7 7 is 49, 6 is 36, 5 5 is 25. So it's coming perfectly. But ideally it should come like a bill, right? So our display is not proper. So what we'll do is we will write the code for actually displaying the bill. So again, remember we have to go through the loop, go through the array. So we put a loop, and now we start off with the display. So item I dot get. Okay, now remember we need to show the item name, right? So this item name we can't directly access it from the class, from the object. The class itself has to provide a function to retrieve the data. So since it is an array, basically a string of characters, so we have to pass the address. So item name, right? Item name, return. What will it return? It will return item name. It will return item name. Okay, remember one semicolon for the return statement. Now similarly we require a function, a getter it is called, basically functions which get you the data from an object, we say getter. So we start it with always get quantity, right? And what will it do? It will return quantity, right? It will return quantity. Similarly, float get price. Okay, now this will return do what? Return price. Okay, so now here what do we do? Cout ITM of I get item name, right? Get ITM name, and let's put a tab. Similarly, cout item of I dot get price. Okay, and again a tab, cout item of I dot get quantity, and a tab. Then comes the value. We have to multiply price and quantity, right? Now, why not put the value in the as a data member itself, right? So let's put item value as a data member. Now, the moment we do that, we don't accept it, and we need to provide a getter. So cout item of I dot get value, right? And we say we say tab, sorry, not tab, new line, because this is the end of the. Okay, now here somewhere, not here, I have to put it in the class specification, float value, and here I have to provide another getter. So float get value, and what will it return? It will return value. Okay, and when will this value be updated? In the set. So value is equal to price into quantity, right? Price into quantity. Okay, here, okay, here everything is okay, right? And we have displayed it, get value. Now what will this show? This we don't require now. Now let's see what happens, right? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? So it is displaying first, second. So we have to put a new line. Now where do we have to put the new line? First of all, at the beginning of every line, so we will put cout end line. Okay, and here also, here we will put cout end line, double end line. Now let's see what happens. Okay, first 2,2, second 3,3, third 4,4, fourth 5,5, fifth 6,6, right? So first 2, 2, 4 to the 4, 3 to the 9, 4 to the 16. Okay, so it's coming perfectly. But does it look like a bell? No. So we need to give it a heading kind of thing. So cout, and we give some name, SHOK, Ashok's department store, right? And similarly we put a dash line under it. Okay, and then we have to put the column headings, right? So first one will be what? Name of the item, tab, right? Second is what? Price. Again after that a tab. Then comes quantity, again a tab. Then comes value. and then next line. So a new line. Now again we need to put a dashed line. So let's put a dashed line, next line, and this dashed line should again be repeated at the end. Okay, so edit, paste, right? And after that what? We should display the total. Now do we have the total? Right? We don't have a total. So what do? We need to create a total variable, local variable. So let's make it as float total, right? And then here inside the loop we say total is equal to total plus itm of I dot get value. So now I have the total. So cout tab 1 2 3, and then comes the value or total. Total, and then we need to display the total, right? And then a end L. Now let's see. Okay, some errors missing. What? Okay, here, and here. Now let's run. Statement missing here as well because we copy pasted it. Okay, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay. See, now we need to look at it carefully. Ashok's department store. After that, there is no. The dash line is not going to the next line. Okay. Okay. First, we have to take care of that. So here we have to put a \n. Here also we have to put a \n, right? And here also we have to put a \n. Now let's do first, second item, third item, fourth item, fifth item, right? Before Ashok's department store, there has to be a new line. Okay, so let's put here cout end L. Now let's run it. Okay, first is this, second is this, third is this, fourth is this, fifth is this. Okay, name, price, quantity, value. Value should come a little bit further. Okay, for quantity also, after the name, everything should have one more tab. I think for price, if I add one tab, it will push the entire thing. Okay, so let's put for name, we put one more tab. Okay, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? Price has gone too forward, so on the column headings also we need to push it. That is one thing. Second thing is it is not getting aligned properly. It is all getting aligned to the left. Rather, the number should get aligned to the right. Okay. So what we'll do is first let's put column headings after name let's put one more tab. That is one thing. Second thing is we need to say set width, let's say 6, right? Set width 6, set width 6, set width 6, and set width 6. For name, I don't think it is required, so let's remove this, and now let's run this. Okay, set W should have a prototype. That means we have not included the appropriate include statement. Header file we have not included, and for this we require iomanip.h. Now let's run it. Right, first, okay, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, now price is getting aligned properly, quantity is also okay, but now we have to push the value a little bit. Okay, let's push value. So for value, if we have to push, what do? We have to push it here. So we have to include one more tab. Okay, and here also we need to add one more tab. Let's see what happens. Okay, first, I know it is very tedious. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, great. So now it is getting aligned properly. So total needs to be pushed one extra. Okay, so now remember, when we are entering the data, every time it displays the details. So this display is not really required, this display data. So I don't actually remove this function, I let the function be there, but here I don't call that function. So now see what happens. First, okay, so it's not displaying again. So second, third, fourth, fifth, right? Okay, now total has come back a little bit, one more. So we should make sure that not like this. We have to put a set width. Okay, set width 6. Now let's see. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Yes, perfect, it is coming. So this part has been taken care of. The description of this would be what? Let's additions. What are the additions we have done? We have added multiple item support, then display after each entry removed, right? Then what have we done? We have generate bill, that we have included. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So these are the three things that we have. So let's save it, and then let's close this and quit.